Welcome to Wealthtown with me, Norbert BM. Ladies and gentlemen, big news for Google. They did it. And today we're going to dive into the hot topic that's been on every investor's mind. Why did Google stock, Alphabet, ticker symbol GOOGL, surge yesterday? We are talking about the significant jump with shares rising around 8%, and it's still going right here when we're recording this. And it all comes down to a major legal victory for the company. So, antitrust case. What is that? Well, here's what you need to know. For months now, Google has been a high-stake legal battle with the US Department of Justice over, well, its dominance in the search market. But it's like 3 years ago that ChatGPT came out, so I don't know what dominance, okay? They're losing market share. That is why Google stock was down here in 132s, and they were still being pursued by the DOJ. Now, the DOJ wanted the court to impose some pretty severe penalties, including potential breakup of the company. Shocking, isn't it? So that is why the breakup was the one part of the fear. But this decline right here from 205-ish, 208 to 143 was because of search, not because of the DOJ legal suit. So the biggest concern was that Google might be forced to sell its crown jewel like its web browser, and is Chrome. So you see, Chrome isn't just a browser, it's a critical part of Google's ecosystem, collecting data that helps make them search and produce better results. Now, forcing Google to sell Chrome would have a massive hit on its core business. So the judge did rule favorably. So what is the favorable ruling? A huge win for Google, of course, because yesterday a federal judge handed down the key ruling that was a huge relief for Google and its investors, of course, like me. And also I'm going to tell you at the end of the video what I did with my Google shares. Now the judge decided that Google does not have to sell Chrome. This instantly removed the worst case scenario that there could be for Google. That was hanging over the stock. So although the stock did start to perform better, the last part here, this last jump, was because the worst case scenario was off the table. Now, it's always important to read the fine print. What changed? While the ruling was largely positive for Google, the judge did impose some new rules. And this also comes into another stock that was affected by by the judge ruling. So Google is now barred from entering into exclusive contracts for internet search and must share certain search and user interactions data with its competitors. However, they plan to do this, to impose this on Google. This could open the door for more players to gain a foothold in the search market, but doesn't it fundamentally break up Google's business? Actually, no. So, in a nutshell, the stock jumped because the legal uncertainty is largely gone, and the company has avoided the most severe penalty that could have crippled its core business. So, the market impact and what lays ahead of Google. The ruling wasn't just big for Google. It also was a positive ripple throughout the entire tech sector, with other magnificent stocks, like the most beneficial of all was Apple. The decision sets a precedent that while regulators are watching, the breakup for a major tech company isn't as easy or guaranteed outcome. Now, for investors, this means that they can focus on Google's fundamentals, like its strong performance in the cloud computing and its big investment in the AI branch. Now, without the looming threat, what's the forecast? So here we have a Fibonacci extension on Google coming from its lows. So I'm going to do here let's jam this together, a 5-year chart here. So coming from its lows in November 2022 up to its peak, which was January 25, going down to its low in April, and now with the retracement at 61.8%, which was just ripped apart. The next level will be the 100% extension, which would be at 267. Now, will Google hit this in the upcoming months? Well, I would say no, just simply due to the fact, or at least upcoming weeks, due to the fact of two factors. First of all, we have here a massive MACD buy signal triggered. Okay, this is bullish, but how long? Because the RSI is at 75, which is, let's take a look here at the historic levels for Google. It's pretty much up there. So highest RSI was at 82 and then 78. Now this is buying power. Also up here, we can see that it's outside is regular moving average, and the potential for Google to just go up without a slight correction is getting less and less. So what I would suggest to myself if I was buying Google is to wait here. And that's what I did. I sold all of my Google shares. Whoa, wait. Why did I do this? Simple, because I had bought in somewhere here. Okay, so this is where I bought into Google. So right now, my gains were not that large. Did have some good gains. Also watch the weekend edition in order to get the info on what I sold this week. But I would be much comfortable if it has a pullback. I buy into that pullback and then let this puppy run for the next 3 to 5 years. Because I believe that Google has a massive potential. Just take a look at these numbers here, the fundamentals. Let's get the annual forecast. We can see here that in the next upcoming years, Google will grow its earnings consistently. So 2025, 2026, 2027, 2028, 2029, Google will grow as a company, also grow its earnings and its revenue. So in a nutshell, good news for Google, good news for investors. Take some profit if you feel that you're overweight Google, and catch you in the next video. I'm Lord BM, this is Wealth Tom. Bye-bye.